again, Colby. I'm back in Manila. Now, I've had a lot of food in Singapore. I actually went on a hiatus for a while and actually kind of injured my back a bit. But I'm here now in Alba Restaurant in Estancia Mall. They recently reintroduced the buffet, the Spanish food buffet. So we ordered Cochinillo for our table. Aside from that, I would feature the buffet that they have here. I already saw paella. They already two kinds of paella, paella con tinta, and we also have callos and dugo di bato. So we'll be trying those out later. But for now, I'll wait for my guests to arrive before I start eating. See ya. Okay guys, so I moved tables so that I can give my guests a bit of privacy. They don't want to be part of the vlog, it's okay. But I got my first plate. Here's an assortment of starters. They have the salameti, the spicy salami or pepperoni, some cured ham, almondigas con pollo. What do you call this? This one is calamares fritos, and this one is potato stuffed with bacon and cheese. We'll start off with the cold cuts. Try this one first. Look at that. That's good. Very flavorful, but a bit dry, but not too salty. Perfect first bite. Okay, so I will move on to the next dish after 2 seconds. I'll just change the battery. Okay, we're continuing. Now next we'll try this other spicy salami. Ooh, this looks a bit piquant. It's red. We'll try it out. Oh, it has a nice spicy bite to it, but not too overwhelming spicy. It's more flavorful than the other one. But what I like about it is it has that slight sour note to it, which is really good. Now let's try their cured ham. Oh, by the way, all their charcuterie are made in-house, and I'm actually really happy because it's really good charcuterie. They say if you want a, what do you call this? If you need to wow a chef, give him charcuterie. Okay? So here's our ham. It's so good, tita. Nice and fatty, but not too dry. Okay? The only thing I like about it is I wish I had bread. I could put it in between bread and eat it like that. Anyways, it's still delicious. Okay? Wait. There's something. I have to fix the focus of my camera. I'll come back to you. See ya. Okay. Now I got it fixed. Thank you. Now, you know what? Let's try something else. Let's try their almondigas con pollo. Pollo means chicken, almondigas is meatballs. There's chicken meatballs in this creamy sauce. Give it a try. Wow. That's actually really good. The nice thing about it is you can taste the chicken. It's not too fatty, but it's not dry at all. It's really... I'm going back for seconds on that one. This one, this chicken dish, they seared it first. And then they cooked it in that sauce. creamy chicken goodness. Now let's try their calamares. Oh, it looks crispy. Looks crispy, guys. Oh my god. It's a bit on the tough side, but the batter outside is nice and crunchy. Very succulent, well seasoned, really well seasoned. That's really good calamares. Now let's try this. This is a one biter. This is their potato stuffed with bacon and cheese. Ooh. They're good. The potato, not too overcooked that it's just mush. You get the texture of potato. The cheese and the bacon is really flavorful. The bacon's not salty, so I wish they could have added a bit more salt. But anyways, it's still delicious. I'm a salty eater anyways, but that is good. So far, dishes are really good here. But the best one on the plate had to be that pollo, albondigas con pollo. That one blew my mind. It's nice and chewy chicken, but not too chewy that it's hard. It's just right, and that cream sauce complements it really well. Okay, so we'll move on to our next plate after this. Yeah. Okay guys, so for my second plate, wait lang, tabing ako, yan. For my second plate, here's what I got. I got their carne asada, the roast pork loin, grilled chicken or asado con pollo, their paella con pinta, and their paella valenciana. You know what, I'll try the pork first. Okay. I'm ready. Thinking that this is a bit dry though. I just stabbed my fork in it. It looks a bit dry, but we'll give it a try anyways. There's a nice ring of fat on the outside, right there. See that? I hope that's going to be enough moisture to save the dryness of the pork. It is a bit dry, but the fat of the pork complements it really well. It kind of adds a lot of moisture to it, not as dry anymore. And the nice thing about it is, it's because of that fat, it has so much flavor. I think that's a good cook. That's a good way of cooking pork. Now let's try their carne asada. This one I'm sure it's going to be moist. It's glistening. Look at that. Glistening piece of meat. That's good. The beef is super tender. Also melts in your mouth. This is actually brisket, I believe. There's a bit of sinew here, but I think I'll give the sinew a try. I want a bit of texture in my bite. So I'll try this. Look at that. There's a tinge of sweetness to it, but flavor-wise, really taste the beef. All the herbs and spices that they use for it, it's there. And I want it with plain rice, but I have paella anyway, so we'll try it with paella later. Now let's try the chicken. Oh my god, look at that. I'm not even putting extra effort on this. It cuts like butter. That's really tender chicken. It's glistening, so I think it's gonna be juicy. Mmm. Mmm. Forget the beef. Get the chicken. That chicken is succulent. Like, it just finished Holy Week. I fasted and didn't eat rice. This is well worth it. Honestly. Oh, that chicken is good. We'll try more of that. No, we'll try the skin. Try with a bit of skin. Look at that, it's glistening. Nice and glistening. That skin has so much flavor. I should have gotten some more, but we'll limit it to that bite. That's good enough. Now we'll try the paella con tinta. This one. It's called paella con tinta because it's black due to the squid ink. Look at that. Now when you eat this, you have to make sure that if you're going on a date and you're eating this with her, you eat this with her. Why? Because after you eat, your teeth will be having black spots everywhere. It's in Tagalog, walang poise or wapoise. Minus pogi points, but still good. The bottom part is nice and crunchy, nice and crispy. Lots of seafoody flavor. Not too oily though, which is nice. Not too oily. Now we'll try the paella valenciana. Look at that. Okay. The paella valenciana is cooked with saffron, that's why it's yellowish or orangish. And the nice thing about it is it uses pork and chorizo as its flavor, main flavor base. That's why you can really taste that Spanish olive oil and that cured taste. Chicken and pork. Honestly, I prefer the Valencia over the Continta. Okay, so I'll finish this, then I'll move on to my next plate. Okay, see ya. Okay guys, so here's my last savory plate. After this, I'm going for dessert already. Here's what I got. I have callos madrileños, complete with morcilla and chorizo and tripe. This one is tuho di batok. It's like beef, slow cooked beef. somewhat like a pot roast, but this is they choose a part with the cow or beef that has lots of collagen, which is actually really good. Good for your skin. They're baked fish, and then the crispy skin cochinilla. Let's start off with the fish. Start with a light dish first. This is basa fillet, I believe. It's baked with that crust and olive oil. Very good fish. Melts in your mouth. Don't need to chew it. It's so good. I'm going for a second bite. Look at that. There's a certain type of sweetness to it that's somewhat enveloping the whole roof and everything in your mouth. It envelops it really well. It tastes that olive oil. Really good. Now let's try their toho di batok. It's glistening. This is ridiculous. Look how tender that is. It's okay? You know what? I'm not going to use a knife. Just use the fork. Look at that. Look how tender that is. Oh yeah. The nice thing about this dish is it has so much collagen that it's borderline fatty, but it's not fatty. It coats your mouth really well. I love toho di batok. Tuhod di batok means tuhod is knee or kneecap. Batok is the back of the neck. Toho di batok is the mixture of those high collagen parts of the beef. Okay. Now let's try their callos. We'll start off with the morcilla. This is morcilla. Blood sausage. Now, callos is good because it's thickened not with cornstarch but with collagen. And that morcilla has an irony taste that gives it that extra oomph of flavor. It tastes so meaty. You have to eat this with rice, or else you're gonna have a hard time eating a lot of it. Good thing I only got a little. Okay, let's try their tripe. Very tender, very flavorful. But you know what? I thought they had some pata to this or something, but it's just tripe and it's so good. I make good callos, but this is really good also. Okay, now let's try their chorizo. The chorizo is what gives callos a lot of flavor. And the nice thing about it, they make it in-house. Okay? You know what? This one I have to move the plate so you can see. We're going for the final bite for this savory plate. Look at that. Glistening skin. With a bit of meat. Okay? Cochinilla is roast suckling pig. Also known as lechon de leche. The skin is like glass, nice and fatty. It's like First bite pa lang, see you Lord na kaagad. It's that good. I got the belly part, which has a bit of char on it, but more of that tender meat. But technically, this is cochinilla, so which means the whole thing is going to be tender. It's still suckling pig. There, look at that crunchy piece of meat. There's so much flavor in the belly area. Ooh. You can see all the spices and this black pepper that they rubbed on the inside of the pork when they roasted it. Ooh. You want to meet your maker? Have this every day. Really. Nice and salty, but not too overwhelmingly salty. I have to say this has to be the best part of this meal, but it's not included in the buffet. Sad to say. This is a special order from my mom. It's actually her birthday today. Okay. We'll move on to the dessert after this. Hey guys, so we're now on our last plate, which is the dessert. They have macaroons, not the macarons, macaroons. This is the coconut one. This is it's like a buttery cake with coconut. Woo. Really sticky. I used to buy a lot of that in the neighborhood panaderia. It's buttery, coconutty, it's super sweet, which is what I love. Now let's try their brownie. Ooh. It's not brownie. It's butterscotch, like the one in Iloilo and Bacolod butterscotch. That's really good. Woo! Pau kanamit. That's only so good. Now this one. This is canonigo. Technically, canonigo is like a brazo de Mercedes that is deconstructed. The filling of the brazo Mercedes is made to a creme anglaise of sauce, and the meringue is baked as one. And look how light and fluffy this is. Ooh, look at that. This is one of the lightest desserts you can find anywhere here in the Philippines. Canonigo. Not too sweet. It has a bit of alcoholic, something like an alcoholic taste to it. But flavor-wise, you can taste the sweetness of that creme anglaise and that lightness of this dish. This is if you bake this a bit more, you'll have a pavlova. Okay, but this is good. This is actually my aunt's favorite dessert. You can't find this in Canada, so sorry, Tita. You have to come home to try this out. God, we're going for a second bite. Ooh. The meringue itself is not too sweet, but the creme anglaise, just right amount of sweetness. For me, my favorite here for dessert has to be that macaron. Well, macaroon. That macaroons. Okay? So, I'll finish my dessert and I'll give you the review of the restaurant afterwards. Okay, guys. So here's my review of Alba here in Estancia Mall. We base it on the 5 criteria: location, ambiance, service, food, and price. Okay, let's start off with the location. It's in Estancia Mall, Capital Commons. It's very accessible. I found out that Alba is having a buffet. They used to have it here also, a buffet every weekend. But they had to close it due to the pandemic. Now, today is actually the first day they reopened the buffet. You can come here for a la carte also, but I'm looking forward to the buffet. So, location-wise, Estancia Mall is accessible via Grab, or actually there's ample parking and there's public transportation along Shaw Boulevard. With that in mind, I'm going to give this location an easy 4 out of 5. Now, let's talk about ambiance. Ambiance, as you can hear, there's music playing, there's a live band singing all around every table, which is a plus. The seats are very comfy. There's lots of seats without armrest that I can fit in. They actually moved me into a sofa, which is perfect for me. And then the lighting and the ambiance of this place feels like home. Okay? So with that in mind, I have to give ambiance a good 5 out of 5. Now, let's talk about service. The staff here are very nice. They're very accommodating. They actually, we were actually supposed to be in the other table. Then we moved to another table, and then I moved to another table. I moved table 3 times because we couldn't fit in the table because we have a Cochinillo with us. And I did hear a single complaint from them or anything that they're, how do you say it? They're very attentive. As soon as I was done eating, they would ask, "Sir, can I take your plate?" Every time my water I drank from it, they instantly refill it with ice. With that in mind, service, easy, 5 out of 5. Now let's talk about food. Food-wise, okay, if we're gonna talk about the buffet, and the food for the buffet, favorite dish there had to be that carne asada, the pollo almondigas, and that callos madrileños. Those 3 dishes are well worth coming here for. For the desserts, it has to be that macarons and this canonico. Okay? Now, if we're going to include the lechon, I have to say the lechon was the best dish. It's crunchy, fatty, salty. As I said, 1 bite, see you Lord kaagad. That good. With that in mind, I'm going to give the food a good 4 out of 5. There are a few items that are hit or miss, like the pork loin. It's a bit dry, and the calamaris is a bit tough. But all in all, more positive than negative. Now let's talk about the price. Okay, the price for the buffet for dinner is 1,200 pesos per person plus tax. For the amount of food that they have here, the choices, that's well worth it. For lunch, it's 1,100, but they don't serve I think they don't serve the carne asada on lunch. Only the paella and a few others. But for the 1,200, that is well worth it. Okay. Now, with regard to the lechon, if you're going to ask me how much it is, the Cochinillo is 11,500 pesos. Okay? Is that Cochinillo well worth it? I'll have to say yes. Because the smile on the faces of my aunt, my mom, and my friends, and our guests is priceless. Okay? So with that in mind, I'm going to give the price a good 4 out of 5. This meal is quite memorable to me. First Spanish buffet I've featured, and the nice thing about it is I get to spend it with family and friends. So, till next vlog, see you in the dining room, and tara, kain tayo. Bye bye!